a personality shaped by being an athlete and a background in mainstream sports media, I found that the stories I was most interested in telling were the ones often overlooked, the ones that might not otherwise be told, the ones that show the intangible and not just the highlight reel. The Sports Council is about highlighting the great, the good, the unique, and everything in between in the Pacific Northwest sports world. I'm Jamie Council. Thanks for joining me.
You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports.
Welcome to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. I'm Jamie Council, joined by Southridge Athletic Director Richard Wells. Rick, how's it going?
Good morning. I'm doing great, Jamie. Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. And how long have you been athletic director over for the Suns?
This upcoming school year will be my 5th year.
How's everything going this time of year? Fall sports are right around the corner. What's going on over at the offices of Southridge Athletics?
Well, you're in this little lull, right? You have a lot of, you still have summer workouts and things going on. You can't do any practices or any game preparation or anything in any sports right now, but you can still do workouts. And we've been doing those things all summer. And of course, just a few weeks ago, our summer school ended up. So you're just in this little bit of a lull, but it's still incredibly busy behind the scenes to get ready for the season. Fine tuning schedules and things of that nature, depending on, program sizes and facility needs and things of that nature. So we do a lot of work, not as busy as during the season, but it's still something that you can still keep yourself, got something to do every day.
Absolutely. And it's been fun watching Southridge sports the past few years. And can you tell me your background that made you get now to this point being the athletic director for the Southridge Suns?
Well, it's kind of a weird story, and I'm not going to bore everybody with it. But ultimately, I was very happy in Hermiston. I had been a football coach there and really loved the community. And my wife and daughters still teach there. So I had no intention of leaving, but then the job opened up. And the funny thing is I actually talked to a couple of people that I trusted that actually didn't have any, skin in the game as far as whether I left or not. And they thought that I would do a really good job and I would be the right type of person. And just having the athletic background as a coach, assistant coach in multiple different sports and different things. And it was just the right logical step for me to take that. I think you always have to be a little bit ambitious as a leader, and I had to take that risk and go to a place where not a lot of people really knew me, and bring some energy and some culture to the area, and try to meld that and what my vision is with what the traditions and the thought processes were with Southridge at the time. So it's been we're still working on that. But I'm incredibly happy here, and we just have an incredible staff, and I'm just very blessed with the people that I work with.
Yeah, the culture there over the past few years has really gotten great. Like I said, it's I don't just say that, but you kind of feel a lot of pride, and you feel that with the Suns. And I think that is from top to bottom, not just one person. Do you miss being a football coach?
Every day. I have to stop myself constantly from interjecting my ideas and thought processes, which were probably wrong anyways. But the one thing that's really difficult about this job, I mean, there's lots of different things, but you're a little bit separated more from the kids than you were as a coach, obviously. And that's a huge adjustment for me. So that's one of the reasons why I really try to get to know our athletes better and do it at a more personal level and be able to talk to them about other things necessarily than just the technique that they need to learn, right, to be successful. So teaching leadership principles and things of that nature are things that I enjoy doing. But, oh, gosh, yes, I absolutely itch every August and want to be out on that field to teach the guys how to get the job done.
Try to let Matt Johnson do his job.
He's a way better football coach than I ever was, so I'll let him do that.
And that's a really cool point that you brought up, that even at the athletic director position, still having those interactions. So what sorts of things do you do to be able to make that difference in young people's lives through those interactions? Is it just organic, or I guess I'm just really curious here?
I think the biggest thing is to be present. And to also walk in as an example, and try to be the type of person that they can look to and go, okay, we're going to be okay because he's behind the wheel. He's behind the scenes, but we're going to be okay. And we also know that that the athletic department is always working to improve the culture in the school. The other thing that I do, and this is a little bit embarrassing, but I participate in our, pep assemblies and things of that nature. I always have a little session and things, and I have to kind of do a little bit of an acting job, but it's one of those things where I have to kind of go do a performance and get people hyped up and do stuff like that. I enjoy it. I don't mind performing, but it's definitely something that I have to kind of get outside a little bit of my comfort zone of being somebody behind the scenes and put myself out in front of the student body and make sure that they know that it's special to be here.
It starts at the top. I remember there's a lot of great athletic directors in our area, and Dave Martinez at Sunnyside during COVID, he would do pep assemblies and he would be the only one in the gym, just screaming at the camera. It was hilarious. So you're not completely alone in your efforts, and they do make a difference. And speaking of football, your football team's made some pretty good strides in the past couple of years, making it to playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last year was a really good season for us. Even though we battled some injuries to some of our key players, we had a lot of success, and we also had some defeats. And I think that happens to good teams, and I think that we have a very strong program. And I want to give credit to the league. I think the league does an incredible job of preparing each other because it is incredibly competitive. We have literally, I believe, state championship contenders every single year within our league, and oftentimes multiple. And so it's a really competitive environment for us week in and week out. I also believe that our coaching staff has done a remarkable job in preparing our young men to be able to compete and be able to believe in the program, believe in their culture, and to have a little bit of that dog in them to get after it. And it's such a intense sport, and it's one of those sports, obviously, that's a huge public spectacle and all the things. I think it's a special place to be, and we're happy to be somebody that not everybody looks at and goes, oh, okay, we're going to win that week when they're playing us. They're looking at us going, we got to be ready to go when Southridge comes to town or when we go to Southridge. So I'm pretty happy with our progress, and Coach Johnson and his staff does a fantastic job getting our kids ready to go.
Absolutely. I think over 500 in almost the last decade it's been that you guys have made those.
Yeah, we're pretty consistent strides there, and to be able to win a playoff game last year when we went to Mount Spokane, who was a really, really good football team, was a highlight of our program. For a number of, we've won a couple of football playoff games over the last 2 years. We'd really like to take that next step, but we're more concerned about playing Cheney on September 4th than any playoff things, because Cheney's awfully good now too. So we worry about those things when we get to them each week. But like Matt always tells me, he goes, I don't care what day we play, just tell me when, we'll be ready.
Love it. And other fall sports that you're that if you want to highlight the programs a bit, because
I can talk about all of them. Our cross country programs are rising. The numbers are great there. They're starting to compete. We've had some great great individuals, and now the teams are getting better on those. We are good coaches there. We've got a very good girls competitive soccer team, and again, a very competitive league there, and great leadership in that. Our volleyball program is definitely on the rise, got to the playoffs last year and the first time in a long time. Got a couple lessons in the playoffs too about what it's about, so we're not quite there yet, but our girls did a fantastic job last year, and we'll be ready again this year. And then even some of those sports that you don't really think about as much as like swim and dive. We've got an absolutely fantastic diver in our program. And then we also have a great cheer program and a dance program. So we are really, really excited about athletics and activities, and even things, and again, talk about sports, but then talk about what's our marching band doing? And they just do an amazing job. And you come to our football games and see our marching band perform and what they do on a weekly basis. It's so cool to work here and to see our student athletes and our activities just do such a great job. And it's just every day I'm proud to be here. And it's just a fun place to be. This is the best job in the world to see kids do such great things.
Absolutely. Lots of pride for the Suns. And we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Again, we are catching up with Rick Wells, athletic director for the Southridge Suns. You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
Living in a rental shouldn't mean settling for poor-tasting tap water. With Soft Water Specialists, you can have pure, clean drinking water in your home, easily and affordably. Our countertop filtration system removes impurities, improves taste, and fits perfectly in any rental space. Plus, it can produce hot or cold water. No big installations, no hassle, just fresh, crisp water. Stay healthy, stay hydrated, and love your water again. Soft Water Specialists. See why we have a 5-star rating on more than 600 Google reviews. Visit softwaterspecialist.com and love your water where you live.
It's time to get your vehicle road ready with McCurley Chevrolet Certified Service. Now open 7 days a week at our expanded service department in the Pasco Autoplex. We make it easy to get the maintenance you need on your schedule. From oil changes and brake checks to tire rotations, battery replacements, and more. Our express service is designed to get you in, out, and back on the road fast with no appointment needed. Visit McCurley Chevrolet today. Together, let's drive.
Life happens. Lucky for you, ICCU has a new kind of checking account that comes with benefits that help you life better. Because being human is a full-time job.
You're listening to Jamie Council on the Sports Council.
We're back on the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports, catching up with Richard Wells, athletic director for the Southridge Suns. Talked about your background, talked about this upcoming season, but a big part of this upcoming season is making those preparations, making those adjustments. And right now, devastating to see the fires around the state. And that's something that you have to take into account is the smoke outside for the student athletes.
Yeah, for sure. And we have guidance through the Department of Health as well as the WIA and certain things that we look for in the air quality index. And we have specific things that we follow pretty closely. And we teach that to our coaches. And the great thing is that we were already active in doing those things before I had even sent out those notifications when things got pretty significant here because of not only the local fire here, but the devastating fires that happened up in Spokane and around the region. So I'm pretty proud of our people and our coaches to make sure that our kids are healthy and only doing the workouts that are appropriate if we're ever outside or whether we're inside or whatnot. So we follow those very closely. We sometimes have to monitor them to the minute, and really pay attention to it. Our district follows up with us and is really, so it's top to bottom. We're paying attention to it. But more than anything, if you really think about it, the men and women that work to save communities, God bless them, and what they do. And to have those devastating things happen, one here locally that could have been really devastating that we got lucky with, and then the devastating situation in Spokane, we absolutely have to really pay attention to those people and give them thanks. So, but as an athletic department, we really are paying attention to it every day.
That kind of puts it into perspective that you think, oh, can I play my football game? Meanwhile, some people are losing their houses. So it's right. It's hard to put it in that sense because you're absolutely right. There's a lot of devastation and a very close call in your school district a couple weeks ago. Right. So do you have to work with the other schools to make it up, or what does that process look like? Yeah, so you guys have to do now?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Obviously, when you get into the season and things like this happen, but oftentimes it's lightning, that we have to deal with. And so we follow those protocols. And then if something has to be adjusted, typically, let's say if we had to cancel a soccer game, which happened to us a couple of years ago because of lightning problems, we play on the next available date. Is what we do, and we start the game where we left off. And ultimately, the bottom line is that I love sports. I bleed sports. I absolutely want things to happen. But the bottom line is those are my kids. Those are my neighbors' kids. And safety is way more important than any score. And so we're going to do things right. And I'll work with, our fellow athletic directors around the area and administrators that are on site and whatnot to make appropriate decisions along with athletic trainers, et cetera, on what we need to do. So it's a team effort to make sure that we do the right things and make the right decisions. But yeah, making up a game, it's not convenient, but it is what it is, and we're going to get it done. And it's typically just the next available date that we do it.
And it's something that taking a look at the calendar and looking for a way to make it work isn't exactly new to the MCC, because on multiple levels, when you take a look at just the scheduling nightmares, you have 3 teams that share a Lamson between you guys, Kennewick and Kamayakan, as well as with the changes in the officiating crews having to play games on Thursdays and Saturdays. So, you have a lot of tall tasks.
Yeah, I think those tasks are shared by all of our athletic directors, and we're lucky in the MCC. We work as a team. Obviously, we want to beat each other. I mean, that's just competitiveness, right? But I work with Anna and Kyle every single day, and I work with everybody else in the MCC every single day to make adjustments and things of that nature. And yeah, we have challenges with scheduling because of facilities or whatnot, but I think they're great opportunities. It's kind of cool sometimes to be the only game on Thursday night where you're doing a football game. Yeah, you prefer the Friday night lights and all the things that, everybody says, but it's kind of nice to be the only game going. And then there's a blessing in the fact that you got nothing on Friday night. You got a 3-day weekend all of a sudden. So there's some positives sometimes. There's difficulties to prepare for it and whatnot, but the thing is that everybody kind of shares that load. Nobody gets an advantage necessarily over those things. And the bottom line is that whether it's volleyball, football, et cetera, when the ball's in the air, you got to make plays. And so we have to make those adjustments. And I'm just very blessed to have coaches that are understanding and just want to get after it when we need to. So, and the referees do a fantastic job for us to try to accommodate things. And oftentimes when you play on a Thursday night, which a lot of people are like, oh, this is a terrible thing. oftentimes you have the best referees in the entire area working that game. So oftentimes those are the best officiated games. So there's a negative in some ways, but there's a lot of positives too. So it's just a matter of the way you look at it. And I'm just happy that we get to play sports, and I'm appreciative of the community of supporting it.
We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Again, we are catching up with Rick Wells, Athletic Director for the Southridge Suns. You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
Life happens. Lucky for you, the new ICCU Central Plus checking account comes with benefits, including cell phone protection.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
That's right. Along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
Softwater Specialist salutes the Water Boy. Your teammates may not always give you the respect you deserve for the service you provide, but we do. If they only knew the same great tasting water from Softwater Specialist makes their towels softer and uniforms brighter, they might see things a little different, just like you. Softwater Specialist salutes the Water Boy.
That's some high quality H2O right there.
Right now at McCurley Chevrolet, drive home one of America's most trusted trucks. Lease a new Chevy Silverado for just $329 a month, or get financing as low as 0%. Built for early mornings, long days, and whatever comes next. The Chevy Silverado is the truck that gets it done, day after day. And when you buy with McCurley, it's easy, honest, and hassle-free from start to finish. McCurley Chevrolet, your way home.
Listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports.
We're back on the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports, catching up with Richard Wells, Athletic Director for the Southridge Suns. So for the upcoming season, we've talked about officials in the past few years, I would say coming out of COVID, that they've been recruiting and stuff. So what is the officiating situation from your perspective?
But I think that they've done a good job of doing recruiting. I know that there's some school districts around here that are looking into and or have started referee schools, and to try to continue to recruit young people that they can do that. And ultimately, we just need to continue to respect our officiating staffs and to do a good job and try to support them as best as possible. As far as like preparing for the season and things of that nature, it's pretty normal. As an MCC, we work real hard on getting our schedules out there early for them. And if there are adjustments that needed, we try to adjust right away, early as often as possible, so we don't make a lot of late changes to the schedule because it affects, media and affects a lot of different people. So we want to try to keep it as tight as we can, as early as we can. And obviously, there's lots of other smaller communities around the Tri-Cities that have football and have other sports, and we all have to share. So we do try to be as proactive as possible. And I work with the officials every single spring and summer to get ready for the fall and hopefully not have a lot of major adjustments late.
So I'm taking a stab here at something that I could see happening in the coming years. So right now, there's a lot of pushes to recruit officials and getting them in, but you're not going to be a varsity level official overnight. So
correct.
It's going to take a couple years to catch up to have that, even after they hit that, because like I said, I do believe they will, with all the wonderful efforts by the officials and as well as supporting schools of helping them in that battle to recruit.
Right.
And if you have a good number of officials, would you still want to keep the Thursday games?
I don't know. I prefer to play on Friday night. I think it's the best thing for the community overall. Especially if we're playing a Thursday night game, where you have to travel a few hours. That's difficult on kids because they have school the next day and things like that most of the time. So I prefer Friday nights. I just look at Thursday nights. Hey, I'm not going to look at this as the end of the world. So we're gonna adjust and go for it. But I certainly wouldn't be upset if I only played on Friday nights for the entire season. So, but I mean, ultimately, everything in sports is about partnerships and teamwork. It always falls down to that. And officials and their needs are part of that stakeholder group. They are part of the team. We might be upset with them because they made a holding call or missed this or that. Doesn't matter. They're part of the team, right? And we have to treat them that way. And so I think it's really important that we respect each other and work real hard to ultimately do the most important thing, which is give kids a great experience.
So looking to give kids a great experience in this upcoming sports season, working through keeping them safe from the smoke that we're currently seeing you guys are tracking through officials and through many other things. What are you most looking forward to in this upcoming sports seasons?
Gosh.
That's a tough question.
That's a really tough question. There's so many things. As athletic directors, we wear so many hats. My favorite thing to do is to work with people. I like solving problems. I like doing that. I like seeing us win games and all those kind of things. But I just like seeing the smiles on people's faces and being able to see whether they're playing and they're part of our student body and they're having a great time, whether they're playing and we're scoring a touchdown and everybody's happy, or we get a spike or a great defensive play in a dig or a goal in soccer or whatever it is. To see that excitement is just really, really cool, because what that is it's a culmination of work. The success is a culmination of work. And when we have the failures and those things, the setbacks that are going to happen, because there's no such thing as a perfect anything, right? And the setbacks, and to see people respond to that and to see how they respond to those setbacks, that's actually probably even more special. So seeing those things and seeing our kids work and seeing our being able to work with coaches all the time, what a rewarding thing for me. So it's just to get back in that energy, like in the summer, I'm going to be maybe in my office alone for 4 or 5 hours. It gets boring. I got nobody bothering me, so I need somebody to come bother me here in a couple of weeks. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
And you're going to be like, man, I missed those 4 hours that I had to myself.
Exactly.
Well, it's just a couple weeks until fall sports starts. And, we talked about the girls soccer team, about football, some of those lesser known sports, swim and dive. And just speaking of Southridge, you have me thinking around the corner into basketball season. I caught up with Derek Leite for girls summer basketball. So I'm excited for another school year. Yeah.
The 26-27 is going to be special for everybody. I hope everybody continues to have an incredibly positive attitude. I'm looking forward to basketball season 2, but I'm not going to put the cart before the horse. We got to take care of fall first. So we've been preparing for that winter season with wrestling and basketball for boys and girls both, and those are going to be great seasons. We're going to host district wrestling for girls this year here at Southridge High School. So that's going to be awesome, having all Spokane schools come down and see that. But I'm going to focus on fall right now. I got that other stuff coming, coming. We'll worry about that here in a little bit, but I'm going to get fall start sports going first.
Again, Richard Wells, athletic director for the Southridge Suns.
Go Suns.
Until next time, I'm Jamie Council. Now we go back to your originally scheduled Seattle sports programming.